Sheikh Hasina, one of the most influential political figures in South Asia, was born on September 28, 1947, in Tungapara, a rural village in the Gopalganj district of what was then East Pakistan. She was born into a family that would later define the destiny of Bangladesh itself. Her father, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was a towering figure in the nationalist struggle and is revered as the founding father of Bangladesh, while her mother, Sheikh Hasina Mujib, was known for her steadfast support and resilience. Hasina was the eldest of 5 children, growing up in a household that was often filled with political discussions, tension, and hope for a free future. Her childhood was both ordinary and extraordinary. Ordinary because she was raised in a rural environment like many children of her generation, but extraordinary because her father was a leader whose vision and sacrifices would later shape the very foundation of her nation. The bond she shared with her siblings, Sheikh Kamal, Sheikh Jamal, Sheikh Russell, and Sheikh Rehana, was deep and close-knit, but tragedy would later alter this family life forever. The military coup of August 15, 1975, brutally assassinated her father, mother, and 3 brothers, leaving her and her sister Rehana as the only survivors, as they were abroad at the time. This event left a permanent scar on Hasina's soul and gave her life an irreversible direction toward politics, justice, and survival. Her early education began in Tungapara, but soon she moved to Dhaka, where she was enrolled in various institutions. Despite the political turmoil surrounding her family and the restrictions imposed by military rulers during different phases of her childhood, she remained determined to pursue education. Hasina completed her secondary schooling in Dhaka and showed early promise as a keen student. She later joined Eton College, a women's institution in Dhaka, before continuing to the University of Dhaka. There she studied Bengali literature, eventually completing her bachelor's degree in 1973. It was at the University of Dhaka that she developed not only her academic interests but also her political awareness, observing how students became mobilized during the nationalist movements that shook East Pakistan and paved the way for the birth of Bangladesh. Her university years were also years of growing personal struggle. As the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, she lived under constant surveillance and often felt the weight of her family's political role in society. Despite this, she showed resilience and courage, attending rallies, engaging in social activities, and learning the skills that would later serve her in public life. She also married M.A. Wazd Mia, a respected nuclear scientist, in 1968, a marriage that balanced her personal responsibilities with her political future. Together they had 2 children, Sajib Wazd Joy and Sima Wazd Puthul, who themselves would later become involved in intellectual, technological, and humanitarian causes. Yet the assassination of her family in 1975 forced her into exile, living in India for 6 years under the protection of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. These years in exile were formative. She endured isolation, grief, and threats to her safety, but also used this time to develop networks, consolidate her political thinking, and prepare for her eventual return to Bangladesh. When Sheikh Hasina returned to Bangladesh in 1981 after being elected the president of the Awami League while still in exile, she immediately became a symbol of her father's unfinished mission. Her return was met with immense crowds who saw in her the continuation of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's vision for a democratic, secular, and independent Bangladesh. From this point onward, Hasina's life became inseparable from the turbulent political scene of her country. She faced house arrests, imprisonment, and continuous threats from military rulers who dominated Bangladesh's politics in the 1980s. Yet she persevered, leading massive protests against General Hussain Muhammad Ershad's regime and playing a central role in the democratic movement that culminated in his fall in 1990. This marked her as not only the daughter of a legendary leader but also as a leader in her own right. She entered office as Prime Minister in 1996, ending years of military-backed governments. Her first tenure brought important changes: a peace accord with tribal insurgents in the Chittagong Hill Tracts, economic growth, and improvements in women's empowerment. However, her government also faced criticism for corruption and heavy-handed tactics, leading to her defeat in the 2001 elections. She spent years in opposition, often enduring political violence, including a deadly grenade attack on one of her rallies in 2004 that narrowly missed her but killed dozens of her supporters. These years of struggle hardened her resolve and elevated her image as a survivor who would not yield to intimidation. Her greatest political comeback came in 2008 when her party won a landslide victory, marking the beginning of a long and dominant phase of her leadership. Since then, Hasina has become one of the longest-serving female heads of government in the world. She presided over a period of remarkable economic transformation, with Bangladesh becoming one of the fastest-growing economies in South Asia. Her government prioritized infrastructure projects, energy production, and industrial growth, particularly in the garment sector, which became the backbone of the national economy. She also invested heavily in social programs, education, and healthcare, earning praise for her efforts to reduce poverty and improve the lives of millions. Internationally, she has been recognized for hosting over 1 million Rohingya refugees fleeing persecution in Myanmar, demonstrating humanitarian leadership at great domestic cost. Yet her leadership has not been free of controversy. Critics have accused her of authoritarianism, suppressing dissent, controlling the judiciary and media, and curbing political freedoms by sidelining her main opposition, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Supporters argue that such measures were necessary to maintain stability and prevent extremism from gaining ground, while detractors fear that Bangladesh's democracy has been weakened under her watch. Sheikh Hasina's life story is one of resilience shaped by personal tragedy, relentless struggle, and enduring political ambition. From the young girl growing up in the household of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman to the exiled daughter grieving the loss of her family, from the opposition leader defying military regimes to the prime minister steering her nation through economic transformation, her journey is both dramatic and deeply intertwined with the modern history of Bangladesh. She has carved out her legacy as a powerful, determined, and often polarizing leader who has managed to transform Bangladesh into a rising force in the global economy while facing accusations of autocracy at home. Her life encapsulates the story of a woman who carried the weight of her father's vision, bore the pain of immense personal loss, and ultimately defined her own path in shaping her country's destiny. Today, she stands as a figure whose leadership has left a permanent mark not only on her nation but also on the broader history of female political power in the modern world.